it's Alison from DigiTeach and I'm going to show you inside my much loved prop cupboard. Let's go. Okay, so this is one of my prop cupboards, which you could, I guess, double up and have this if you dressed it perhaps a bit better. You could use this as a backdrop, you know, if you had your desk in front of it. So let me walk you through some of the things I have. So always, let's start here. Tech is first. All right, so in this drawer, I have everything possible to do with tech. I'll put myself around here. Okay, so these are all the clips for my green screen. I have various different mics. These are lapel mics. I always have a spare set of headphones. I always have extra brand new applicator leads that I need. Always have a rechargeable battery that's ready to go. And then a backup. This is really cool actually. This is for when I'm teaching privately and I can take payments online. It's pretty cool. If you don't want to use PayPal or what have you, that's really good. That works really well. Extra tripods, more batteries, tape. Always handy to have some tape. An interface, basically some studio equipment. These are just the bags really for lots of my camera stuff. This is excellent. This is one of my favorite props actually. This is a, if you can see this little lever here, you can switch it around. You can see that lever there. From underneath, you do this and you switch it around and you can do magic tricks. Can you see? I'll do it really slowly. Can you see it moving? I'll do it in front of the light actually. Might help. Can you see it moving? This is really good. Now I play a little game with this and quite often I use flashcards for vocabulary, or I will use some like extra treats, as in toys. Now flashcards, I'm going to come down here actually. Let's just move the light a little bit. Just turn that around. Okay, that's a bit better. Yeah. Here, basically how I work is I come in here, I look at my lessons if I'm teaching children. I come in here, I check out all the props that I've got. And then I will arrange them into here. So this is kind of like my standard. So I always have colours, flashcards, something to do with numbers, something to do with opposites. This is a really cool, get out, Dora the Explorer card, but you can like front and hot, cold, you know, hot, cold. It's a really good fun game. They really love that. And it's a little bit different from a flashcard. So those sorts of things work really well. So what have I got in here? So obviously we've got food, always food. Food is always very good, you know, to talk to children about culture, about colours, about numbers. How many pieces of salami do they want on their pizza? Who's going to make the pizza, you or me? I've got a little pizza thing here. Plates, let's have, you know, all of this sort of thing. I bring this all into my classroom. Once I had to make lemonade, actually real lemonade, so that was quite useful. Always good to have a map of the world that you can take up to the right way up to the camera. I quite often see these on the back of the wall, which is really good, but see, sometimes, well, it's good to have one that you can really take up to the camera and let the children really see it. That's quite useful. That works really well. Okay, I've got more flashcards in here. At the back is kind of all my notes and things like that. I've got more folders down here and more books down here for adults. I have loads of puppets. Loads and loads and loads and loads of puppets. Lots. I have all sorts of puppets. I will never stop buying puppets. They all come pretty much from when I was writing the books for Baguette Bear. Who's up there? Baguette the Bilingual Bear. And I used to kind of act out in classes with children. I've done lots of community classes and speech and language classes, that type of thing with children. It's really good because by giving a child a puppet, you see how they interact with it and you see how they learn. And children are always changing how they learn. It's the most fascinating, observation, really. You can learn so much from watching children learn. Okay, we've always got to have a farmer. You know, don't forget the farmer. Always very important. Always lots of monkeys. This is kind of my most Chinesey type doll puppet I could find. That's actually from IKEA, but it's quite cute. Ducks are always popular. I only use him, he's called Claude, but I actually only use him with older students because I think he kind of is a bit scary. Telling the time, this is great. I have a wooden clock, but I really like this one because it's really nice and big and bold. And with my whiteboard pen, which I've got down here, you know, you can write on here and change the times. So I've always got loads of musical things, lots and lots and lots of musical things. And also, actually, a little tip, if you want to make a display of puppets, using like hand cream, deodorant bottles, he's on a deodorant, my rabbit's on a deodorant bottle, you can make a really quick, fast display. That's going to go. Using any kinds of, you know, whatever's around you, you know. You don't have to, I'm doing this with one hand, so this isn't ideal, but you don't have to spend out loads. Obviously, if you've bought the puppets, you don't want to be spending even more. So, well, that's probably not the ideal thing. But the puppet works really well. I always have loads of books. These types of books work really well because they're quite bright, you know, to take up to the camera. Obviously not the words, but the images are really good and really clear. This drum I have with every single lesson that I do with children. It's a drum, so you can tap on it. Do it like this. I'll probably hear it a bit better if I do it. And it's, you know, it's also, you can use it as a prop. You can talk about colours, shapes, all sorts of things. That's really useful. I always have something to do with the outside world. So I have watering and flowers, and I have a plant on my desk. Little Red Riding Hood is a puppet, obviously. This is a really cool magnetic book. The magnets are in my desk drawer, so that's really fun. This is obviously great. It's a little wooden farmyard, and inside there's like loads of, you know, inside there's loads of wooden animals. Story cards, these are great. These are just like flashcards with a picture on, and they're the best because depending on what your student likes, you can really theme the lesson around them. And these are quite original, you know, things like always seeing pictures of fruits, pictures of shapes. It gets a bit boring. So I think it gets boring to teach. It's also boring for them. How many times has a child seen a circle and asked, what is this? It's a circle. So story cards, I think, are much more fun. And there's Baguette's magic stick, obviously, Baguette the Bear. So that's great. Okay, let's move down here again. What have I got here? Right, this rabbit is wonderful. You can pop it in, so you can put your hand inside. Okay, and obviously, I'm going to try doing it actually. Bear with me. I'm going to try doing it. So this is like one of my really, I love this. needs a bit of, I think it needs a wash actually. Well used, well loved. I think my dog must have grabbed hold of this. There's lots of dog hairs on it, definitely needs a wash. The kids love this. I'm showing you my surprise. And it's really, really good fun because the rabbit goes up and down. And I actually use this quite a lot in group classes to deal with noise control as well. I'm just going to turn that around. Deal with noise control. So if I've got a group of like 5 or 6 children or more, and quite often I teach entire classrooms in schools in China and they're being really noisy, don't forget I'm on a massive overhead projector in their classroom. Poor things. So if they're not listening, sometimes like the teacher, I mean, it's not often that they'll be left on their own, but occasionally they do get a bit rowdy. So I will get this out and I will go, oh, 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 you know, and I will say the noise is hurting his ears and I will really accentuate it. And they all want the rabbit to come out, but the rabbit will only come out if they're quiet. And then I will bring him out. So, oh, if they make noise, he goes down again. So I turn this into a game, and then I will obviously start using the vocabulary for the ears and the hands and soft and waving. And then as prizes, I let them, I say, would you like to pull down a leaf and have a surprise? Now, a little tip here, I always make sure I've got a panda because Chinese children love pandas. So I always make sure I have a panda. That's a win. So I would let them, perhaps, obviously they can't do it, but I would do it for them. I would pull down, and these pull down like it's like Velcro. So I would pull one down, show them that the leaf's open. Yeah, they like that. Okay, that the leaf's open. It does need a bit of a wash, it's sticky. And obviously the panda will come out, and the other animals, you know, round here, what's this round here? Oh, what's this? And, you know, it's a ladybird. And, you know, you can put anything you like in there. You could put candies in there, but I try to kind of keep away from the sweets and things. Parents don't really like the sweets too much. So he is an absolute winner. We can play games, we can dance. You can also put flashcards in here as well, which is really good, and pull out flashcards. You can turn that into a really cool game. So that is an absolute winner. Let me see what else is in my cupboard. As a reward system, I love this. This is actually French because I teach French online as well. And also I do a couple of classes, private classes in French. But this is wonderful. This is from l'École de Loisirs in Paris. They have the most wonderful, enchanting games and things like this for children. It's really kind of traditional, it's non-gadgety, and it's just so lovely. I've actually got the book of this as well, which is Pop the Dinosaur. It translates to Pop the Dinosaur. Basically, the story is about a dinosaur, and as you're going through the book, reading the book, whatever fruits the dinosaur eats, he gets a stripe of colour, and he asks, you know, what colour am I? What colour am I? So they say green, you know, green like the leaves, or grey like the rain, and it's quite nice. So at the end, he turns into a completely multicoloured rainbow dinosaur, which is great. They love it. Anyway, getting on to the game. So I love this company, such great things. Okay, so this I use as a reward because it's just nicer than some of the ones I've seen. So basically, this is Pop the Dinosaur, but he's got no colours. Ah! So in order to fill him up, they get this thing which is called his tongue. And if they get like a word right, or even just if you want to get a child to interact a little bit more, it's really good. If they answer a question, have a go, even if they get it wrong, doesn't matter. Get this out. Oh wow, look, you've got, what colour? What colour is this? Start wherever you want to, the eyes here. So pink. So you get this in it's got all the different colours in here. Let's get all the different colours, show you the little box actually. Okay, you get all the different colours in here, which is wonderful. red, green, brown, what have you. All with the eyes on. And what I really like as well is that you can play another game. So that's just a reward system, but you can play another game with them with Pop the Dinosaur with the little cards, colour cards. So you've got him in orange, you know, orange, red, but in this little pack as well, but I'm not going to be able to find it now, am I? Okay, here's one. So, you know, what is this? You know, oh, it's a strawberry. What colour is the strawberry? It's red, like Pop the Dinosaur, even like that, like Pop the Dinosaur. So it's like a nice fun game, it's matching, and it's just a little bit different. So I love that. That is an absolute hit. I play that sometimes with mine as a game, but I do, this works really well as a reward system. They really like this. Okay, I'll show you my other reward system. Let's go. Now this is actually the shopping game, okay? This is in French, but this, le chariot, or the supermarket trolley, basically, the cart if you're American. This works really well. Now what I do with this is I have little stickers, and I stick stickers on there and I hold it up. So on here, I would write their name with a whiteboard pen, whichever student it is. I'd write their name on here with a whiteboard pen so they know it's theirs. And it makes it a little bit nicer than just having a star or something like that. And if they've done really well, then obviously they get a little sticker, they get a little sticker. Obviously they'll all get the stickers at the end, but it just makes it a little bit more fun. It's a lot more visual, and it's kind of quite nice because it's a really big, thick, chunky card. Parents really like this as well. You can also play, you know, if they like certain foods, you can get the little food cards out. That works really well, so they like that too. So that's just a couple of little games I love using for awards. Let's have a look what else is in my cupboard. Okay, most of the platforms have lots of different like filters like Snapchat. However, if you're not using something like MoneyCam, which I'm a complete fan of, you might want to kind of go for the kind of the actual the actual props. I really do get into it. So let's make a cake. What are we going to make? Ta-da! We need a spoon first of all. Let's go. So you can mix that all up. You can have fun. Obviously get your little plate out again. You've just got to turn it into something really great and fun. Turn taking is sometimes needed in even in twos. Sometimes when I'm teaching two students, especially if I'm teaching like the Oxford programme or something like that, I will always have one student who will, I'll say, you know, what colour is this, Anna? And it will be the other student. There is often always a more dominant student, and it is something that you do have to manage, because it sometimes seems that parents don't seem to understand turn taking either. So whilst you're educating the child, sometimes it seems like you have to educate the parent without obviously raising an issue so that you get a complaint, because you don't want that. So this works really well. If they wait their turn, then they can spin. And if they spin this and tell me that how many dots there are, they get a prize or they get another reward or something like that. So if I have another child, for example, that is over talking another one, instead of telling him off, I'll go, oh! And it's like a prompt after I've explained obviously how this works, and that works really well. So I don't have to say no, because that's quite negative. Lots of platforms don't like you say no at all. Parents certainly don't like it. So it's a nice way of kind of getting around that. Let's have a look. What else is in my cupboard? Okay, what have I got? What have I got? What have I got? There's so many things. These. I have a pack of these. Are wonderful. I mean, these were a few quid off Amazon. and they are so good. They are really good for making puppets. Some platforms don't like you using ManyCam. They don't like it. In fact, some platforms it's completely forbidden. So this is really, really good. Now, I've just done a quick one here. For example, there's nothing on this one, but you can literally do something really, really quick. And, you know, you could write something on there or stick something on there. And these are actually incredibly strong. You wouldn't think so, but I've got a little basket somewhere, which I need to find, of loads and loads and loads and loads of cards. So that's really good card puppets. It doesn't cost anything. So if you, I mean, this is from years and years and years of teaching, and I've actually got another massive cupboard in the garage. I just find it really hard to throw the stuff out. They're teaching things. My kids who are teenagers now are saying, look, Mum, do you really need this stuff anymore? And I'm like, I'm a teacher hoarder. So my son says, Mum, you're a hoarder. I'm like, no, that might come in useful for teaching. No, we can't throw that away. That might come in useful. So, you know, also I want to speak to you about the cape, because this really surprises kids. So obviously my wonderful Baguette Bear. If you want to learn languages, or you've got young children, you want them to learn languages, then go along and have a look at my books, because they are so wonderful. And Baguette is such a gorgeous little character. He really is. So Baguette is the bilingual bear. So he speaks English, but he also speaks another language as well. And his books come in French, Spanish, Chinese, and Italian at the moment. Okay, so obviously I don't promote Baguette Bear in my lessons because that would be forbidden. However, the cape of a teddy bear is wonderful because I take it off and they always think, what is she going to do? And then I just simply put it on. Superheroes, go! And they're like, oh my gosh. And you know, you take that out. Ta-da! Let's sing a song. You get some bells, obviously without the neck scarf, and you know, a simple cape can make such a difference, and you know, really, you know, get the mood going, get the child interacting, and everything else. So anyway, that's just a little peek inside my prop cupboard. I have many more, but I just thought that would be really nice to share with you. So let me know in the comments, what sort of props do you have? What do you find really works? And, you know, tell me. And if you don't know about DigiTeach Online, come along, digiteachonline.com. It is the home of online teaching. I've created it for teachers and tutors all over the world. Yes, there are jobs on there. Yes, there's my little Teacherpreneurs course on there if you want to teach independently and privately. Most of all, there's loads of resources. Some are free. Some I guess I will have to make payable at one point, but I haven't done yet. So, you know, I am building that up. The resource lab, I'm building it up. With all my wild and crazy and wonderful ideas. But, you know, just come along, have fun. Join the Facebook DigiTeach group, because we have a group page which is private. There is also the Facebook page, obviously on Pinterest and all the other things as well. But obviously the Facebook group is where lots of people chat. I do quite a lot of lives in there as well, so you can come on in, ask questions or just whatever, but be part of the community. Anyway, as always, keep it digital, keep it real, have a great evening, goodbye.